You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons and Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode 135, posted April 2018. Turn left at the shallow graves.
And currently, before we start, I have assumed that Regdar has cast light upon himself and is providing light for everyone.
There was like people being held by bird stuff
Kenku.
in here. Kenku, right? The
Kenku.
mean bird. So isn't
Yeah.
this a well-lit
Please don't call
prison
them,
room?
Don't call them birds. That's very offensive.
Very rude.
I mean, they're
It
birds.
is rude.
We killed them. They are
They are
not
dead.
yet
Is
there. Now we can be racist
Is
in
this the
private.
room we were in, except it's much more poorly lit than it was before?
This is a room that I don't think this place is particularly well lit in general. It's very dim light.
Were the Kenku just killing, like torturing people in the darkness? That's extra creepy.
They are
That
creepy
is pretty
little
creepy. I mean, that's
little birds.
a way to add to the terror of the torture.
I think Kenku have dark vision. Maybe they don't. If they don't, then there was light. Let's find out. Let's check the rules.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that we should be doing right now.
Let's see. They
I don't
dream of
think-
flight. Yes, they don't have dark vision. So there was some low light in here, but
Okay, mood lighting. Torture mood lighting.
Oh yeah, it's like a Virgin America flight all up in here.
I mean, I presumed we had something that we had
R.I.P.
cast light on, or some
I
sort of light source.
don't know about you. The only time I ever flew Virgin America, a bunch of birdmen tortured me to death.
That's why they got acquired by Alaska.
it
Yeah,
happens.
that's
Yeah.
why I only flew it once. But
Did
the
they-
lighting was
Did they
real
charge you
nice.
extra
Yeah.
for that? Did that cost you like a $20 fee?
It always does.
In
They
flight
come around-
But
Birdman
the,
murder?
the nice thing is they come to your seat and do that when like you can summon them at any time.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
you
There's
just
a little
touchscreen
button.
to
Pay with a
order
credit
up the
card, don't need
torture.
cash.
It's really nice.
Also, the safety video is just the best safety video. So, yeah. And that's what I look for in a torture.
And let's play that video now.
Oh.
All right, Dan, cue some light jazz.
All right, firing it up.
All right. Scott, can you remind me, is the name of this horrible city, does the horrible city that we're in have a name?
No one
It
told
is
us
not-
the name. I tried to find out, and the guy wouldn't tell me.
Okay. So we're
So-
in the, like, stupid Lost Dwarven era elemental city.
Correct.
Sounds about right.
You don't know what the name of the city is. You do know that this is. I'm going to assume your characters have
Tony?
pieced together some things.
Forget it. It's Dwarf Town.
Thank you for talking over me for that very lame joke, Dan. I'm going to assume,
As a service I provide.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
I
that
got
your-
a Dwarfberg personally, but you do you.
your characters have pieced together that there is a cult that is apparently worshiping air elementals.
Cult
and
of the Howling Hatred.
That is correct, and that this is it seems like you've looked at a few things here. It seems like they have taken this kind of long-lost city or section of this long-lost dwarven city and made it into a temple of some sort. Some might call it the Temple of the Howling Hatred.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like this temple is a much larger complex than the somewhat more modest earth elemental temple that we discovered back underneath the other town. Is that fair to say?
Yes, so you discovered that small...
That was more like a few tunnels, whereas this is like a full-on lost city with some like ornate hallways and whatnot.
Yes, and you'll also recall that you, as you almost immediately you came into the temple, you walked around down a hallway, and then you walked down a tunnel, and you found a gate that opened. You opened it up, and it opened up into another section where you were attacked by an octopus and some other things.
One of the most scary things you can find in a desert adventure, an octopus.
It's true. Desert.
Or just water in general.
So do you, everybody remember what the heck is going on? You have found yourself in this temple. You are currently in a room with 5 people who were tortured
Yes,
by,
there was a halfling
Kenku.
amongst them, as I recall,
there was a halfling amongst them.
and he announced
And-
that his wife had been taken down below.
That's right. And we ended with Umlal saying, "Good thing we're down below, inspectors."
Yeah, thanks for interrupting yourself to revisit that lame joke.
And that's where we are. So what do you do?
Let's go down below.
we gotta talk to.
We've
so we gotta talk
established
to
our
this
bona
guy.
fides.
We got to talk to this guy and find out what the story of the caravan is, and what happened to the caravan. Because we should tell him that we were actually sent here. Guys, we get to tell the truth about why we were actually sent here, and also find out what happened with his wife. So
I'm going to be
let's
honest.
do that.
Regdar is so lost in the lies that we've told on top of the lies that he has lost. It's kind of a
I think
it's kind
Shara
of a
needs to
memento
handle this.
situation.
Shara is
at
the
this
one
point.
who actually works for the people who sent us here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
It's an appropriate reaction.
so who am I talking to? Which?
So you found a halfling. One of these commoners is a halfling.
Okay.
Halflings in Dark Sun are about. So this is a man. He is about 3 feet tall. He's painted himself red. He's got very long hair, with a variety of twigs and small skulls kind of braided into it. And he's looking at you, saying, "My wife, they took her to the down below."
Okay, how did you get here?
These people kidnapped us for some reason. They attacked us on the road to Tyr, and it seemed like it was very confusing. There were separate groups all attacking us at once, and then they started fighting each other, and then they took different people from our party, and we ended up here, and they split us up.
Okay, so you were here. They took your wife down below. Do you know where everyone else is?
I have no idea. I know that there is their leader is this cult seems to be obsessed with the air elemental, and their leader is Eresi Kalanoth, and she.
Oh, heresy. Now I get it.
They kind of these Kenku were torturing us, but they
But C's in the name too. She could be into water elementals. There's no particular reason it has to be air.
Very true. There is a
On the other hand,
in the center.
Hands.
He has 4. In the center of this place that we're in is a pyramid, and she has an audience chamber where at the top of the pyramid, where she enjoys torturing people herself.
Because it's a nice view.
It does have a nice view. And so, yeah. And if you want to, Shara, why don't you make an insight check?
Let's see. So I rolled a 9. Do I get any bonuses to that?
Yes. If you have
Insight. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there.
-1. So 8.
Valuable
yeah.
shit.
It all
Sounds
checks
about
out.
right.
Sounds right.
Yep. All right. Well, how do you know all of this? Have you just been in this room, or what's been going on?
So they took us in various parts. I was briefly in the chamber above, but I was bound, and they let me listen to them torture my wife, and then they sent me down here to be tortured some more by the Kenku.
Do you know how long you've been here?
It's hard to say when all the days blend together when you're being tortured underground.
Okay.
Well, we are here to help, friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were sent to find you and your other compatriots. So this is actually why we're here. There have been a lot of lies. I'm not going to lie about that, but because I can tell you the truth, which is we are here to save you. We
who
were sent
sent
from
you?
Tyr to save
Oh,
you
Tyr.
and the other members of your party.
we're halfling inspectors.
Can you tell us do you know how many of your group was alive when you were captured? Do you know were many killed in the battle, or how many? Any sense of how many are left?
So they killed all of our guards.
Okay.
They took all of our stuff.
And the guards were your people from the Forest Ridge?
Well, there's a mix. So Tyr
Okay.
graciously provided some guards as well, and some of our own Ogoian halfling guard were there, but they have all sadly been taken from us. And everybody roll an insight check, except for Shara.
Why did I roll it twice?
Are you on advantage?
I got a 9.
9. I will assume Regdar got
Yeah, take
a
the
9. Did anybody get more than? Oh no. Okay, so it all checks out.
Mm-hmm. Friend, what is
Yes.
your interest in halfling books?
Well, I am a halfling.
Because
so-
do I have a deal for you?
I don't have any money.
Oh, well, we'll talk later when you've been reinstated.
Okay. Yeah, and so my position in the caravan, in case you were wondering, is I was one of the trade delegates, the hedge trade delegate. His name is written on
Head
this piece of
trade or
paper.
hedge trade?
Head.
Head. Okay.
He's the head
It
of the
sounded like head.
delegation.
He sells shrubbery.
Her name is Chenna, and she was also captured with myself and my wife. I don't know where she is though, but my wife's name is
really memorable.
It's been a while.
Torture.
it has been a long
It's
day,
Mrs.
my
Mane.
friends. Very long day. Tana is her name.
And what was this halfling's name?
I don't remember what I said last time.
He doesn't
but now
remember his own name, let alone his wife's name.
Can I roll another insight check?
All right, yeah. Look, I've never experienced this firsthand, but I read a book once. Kenku torture is very difficult.
It's
and
very,
it's just,
very difficult.
they strip you down to just the piece by piece, and we're lucky that this guy's even having a conversation with us at all. He has been
Really lucky.
I'm just saying. I
Yeah,
think we should
really lucky.
I think we should have advantage on rolling to detect lies because we tell a lot of lies. So I feel like we know.
Yeah,
what
we're
lies
proficient
sound
in lie craft.
His name is Perrin.
Perrin.
All right.
ask about the because there were several other captives, right? He's just we went to him because he was a halfling.
Yes.
So
So the rest are humans. They look up at you and say, "Thank you so much. Can you escort us back to freedom? We want to get out of here as quickly as possible." And they
literal
look,
freedom or
Yeah, that's
figurative
kind of-
freedom
that's
from
how
your
freedom
from
or-
your
yeah.
from your situation.
Both.
yes, both please. We are from freedom.
We're obviously in a very dangerous situation here, so we need to take our time and do this right. Tell me, you're from freedom. What
can
did
do
you
it
do in
tonight.
freedom?
We were ordinary workers.
That is not what an ordinary
Story
worker
checks
says.
out.
Yeah.
I am
All
but an
right.
uninteresting commoner, sir.
Hold on, I'm rolling insight.
You
See,
believe it?
Story checks out. Scott, sorry that we're giving you such a hard time about your incredulous NPCs that we're not supposed to talk to. So tell me more. Where did you go to college?
My family couldn't afford college, so I went right into working as a worker.
Inherited the trade from my dad. He was a worker. It's a long
I'm
line
just-
of workers.
I'm just-
Come from a long line.
I'm just gonna roll insight again. Okay.
Oh.
I
You know that this person is telling you the truth. They are a very
Alright.
hard worker.
I check his hands.
They are calloused, and the hands of the salt of the earth. A worker.
In the old
It's really shocking we
salt
haven't gotten farther
workers.
in this adventure with all these
That's
sessions.
true.
today.
They are also covered with caked on blood because they have been tortured by Kenku for several
let's ask the
All right.
humans.
days.
We're here on a mission. There are other people we need to save. Is there anything you can tell us, information about how you got here, or things you know about this place that would help us?
So the only people so all of them seem pretty afraid because you are all also dressed as air cultists, but they saw you kill the Kenku, so they're also kind of willing to help you because they were being tortured by the Kenku. So you seem like you're a better option at the moment. And so they say, well, we were just the only people we've seen is the Kenku who have been torturing us, and Kenku are not great conversationalists. They have mostly spent the time torturing us and then playing back, mimicking our screams of terror back at us, which is unpleasant. The halfling was added later. We don't really know much about him. They had a particular interest in him, but they didn't seem like they were trying to get information out of him. And the halfling says, yeah, they just seemed like they were very eager to cause me pain, but they didn't ask any questions.
I guess Perrin should come with us, and we're going to try to find the other people, including his wife, and
His
the
wife,
other
Lee.
humans need to, maybe we can just kind of point him in the direction of how we came in as an exit, but we can't lead them out.
Scott, Regnar's a little disoriented, but as it's as if we have loaded our map into a new campaign setting. How safe? I don't remember how fully explored / safe the path back to the exit tunnel was.
It was pretty. I think we explored it pretty well.
All right.
Yeah.
Somebody with more
Of course,
common
there
sense.
was a
Regdar,
murder hallway
like-
and a lot of screaming when we arrived. So
There was a murder hallway, which I was going to remind you of. It is a pretty, so there's a hallway. You have not really gone into a lot. I will briefly say what rooms you went in. So you came in down the murder hallway with lots of screaming. Then you went into what I like to call the Flautist Plaza,
Yes.
where they were practicing the flutes.
Yeah.
Then you walked down a long hallway. You went into a bunch of empty rooms. You ignored a couple doors. You went down a tunnel that took you to a different map that I quickly had to look up and see what was in there.
Got too much information. Dial it down just a little bit.
Sorry. Then you went up and around. You met a genie. You crossed onto a bridge, and you saw the pyramid that Perrin was talking about.
Yep.
A wyvern talked to you. Well, the wyvern didn't,
Even
but a guy
I don't
riding.
believe this story.
Told
This happened to
Carlos
us.
to beat it. Yeah.
And then you guys said, well, let's check out this room. And in the room were Kenku torturing these people, and you murdered the Kenku.
All right, I think we should get these people out of here because right now they're technically a liability. So
Yeah.
we should rescue them, and we should at least get them to the tunnel back to the surface. We can assess, depending on how well that goes, whether we're going to go back to freedom with them or send them on their way and continue our
The
exploration of
safest
this
place for them
horrible-
might be with the guy whose friends we all just killed a little while ago, beyond the locked gate. But unfortunately, I don't think he's in the mood for visitors right now.
Scott, can Amla peek out the door here and just get a better idea of where we are?
Yeah.
Look for anybody patrolling the halls.
Sure. Let me.
So Scott, when we arrived, we came down the crevice. Were there any little side caves or any places that we could direct these people to go in and wait for us to come and lead them back to freedom? Or if we get them to the tunnel to get out of the caves, are they just gonna sit there at the entrance in plain sight?
There are a lot of room 14s that they could go hide in. I mean, this is an abandoned city.
There are a lot of rooms that you went into. You spent, I don't know if you did a long rest or not, but you went into
We did.
one of the room 14s.
We did do a long rest at one
We
point.
do, yeah.
Mhm.
So you could stow them in one of those rooms. You could go tell them to go out the murder hallway, and that leads out to a valley, and they could probably get
Only if we
back.
describe it that way. Go out through the murder hallway, past the screaming room.
Take your first left.
All right, so tell me what you're doing while I'm.
All right, so last
Doing
thing I
other
remembered
things.
asking was if I could peek out the door.
Yes, you can peek out the door,
Okay.
and you see
so-
a bunch of character tokens that I have scattered hither and yon.
Scott, are these prisoners pretty messed up? I mean, are they liable to survive if we just take them out and dump them in the gully?
Well,
where
they
can
are
be
so.
seen by everybody in Feathergale Spire as they try to crawl out of it?
As your intensive conversation has ascertained, they are common folk. So in the terms of D&D world, they have probably 3 hit points.
No marketable skills.
They have
Except working.
Except working, yeah. Come
they
on,
work.
man.
That's a big marketable skill.
And they speak
they're
common.
unskilled labor. So I mean, they could not survive a fight. They don't have any provisions,
But
so
we can't walk them all the way back to freedom. That's just
Yeah.
No,
I'm
but
wondering
I'm
if
wondering if it makes more sense to squirrel them away somewhere and then maybe
Yeah.
leave them out
Yeah,
later.
we do have. Well, I mean, the closest place is in what was at least previously an empty room 14, which is just sort of south and a little bit to the right there. And there's like a closet in there, which was empty.
Oh, you
Just,
shove them all in there.
Yeah, I'm
Common
serious,
worker
like,
storage.
Turns out you
quietly
guys are
put
really
together.
inconvenient. It was much easier when you were being tortured, so we're just gonna let you get back to that.
Well,
The
you
only
said they've got
problem
the
is
cultist robes, right? So they could even fake it potentially if somebody finds them. Like,
Oh, we could-
we're
we
here,
could,
we're cultists, like you.
Yeah, there's probably some extra initiate robes lying around somewhere. Let's disguise them.
You could
That's
give
not
Mars.
ooh, they
Or we
say
could just kill some dudes that are wearing them.
we would prefer to leave.
Okay.
All
Well,
right,
I mean,
let's-
it's
But
pretty
they might be easier
straightforward
to
for
get
them
out.
to get
Once
out.
they're disguised.
Yeah, let's lead them out.
We'll take our chances with the desert.
Okay.
That's just normal Athas life, taking your chances.
Were
in
the
desert.
Kenku wearing
That's
initiate's
true.
robes or robes of any kind? They're
The
probably a
Ken-
little sullied at this point, unfortunately.
The Kenku robes are destroyed. They are wearing like black robes, but just like nondescript black robes
Mm,
that are currently splattered with their own blood and sliced open.
all right.
Don't sound so judgmental, Scott.
I do want to sneak them out. I
Tell
think
them
we
the
should
facts,
probably
man.
like send Shara ahead a little bit just to sort of scout things out because she's the sneakiest and she could, come on
Is she?
back. And,
She's the
yes,
stealthiest.
I guess I'm pretty stealthy.
I
yeah.
think by far. Kachka's
I
probably
don't
the
think
only
so.
one that's closed.
All right. Yeah, I'm happy to go down the tunnel and ascertain safety.
The tunnel being the murder hallway or the tunnel to the octopus lagoon.
I think the murder hallway, right? Like,
Worst Disney theme park ever.
Because we know that will eventually lead them to a place where they can get to freedom. For all we know, the other direction will take them farther away or
The
into
octopus
something more
hallway is
crazy.
probably safer, but the lines are so much shorter for the murder hallway. So let's just do that.
it's true. Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Octopus Hallway is my favorite Ringo Starr song.
Shara, are you attempting to be stealthy, or are you just gonna walk around and?
I'll attempt to be stealthy anyway.
Okay.
So I rolled a 26 to stealth.
All right. You are incredibly stealthy.
Mhm.
That's what
So,
they
are
tell
you
me.
going to go by yourself and scout it out? Is that the idea, and then come back for the folks, or
I
take them
think
with you?
so.
Okay.
Unless, does anyone want to come with or
I would probably make enough noise that it would just totally negate your stealthiness.
cancel it out? Okay.
I'll come along just so you have some backup.
Okay.
And I rolled a 20, so that's 25.
Nice.
right.
Nice.
They disappear.
Whoa.
They scout the hallway. They don't encounter anybody. I don't know if you guys looked up this hallway. I don't think you did.
Which one?
So I'm going to say that as you're scouting through the hallway, you look up this hallway.
Just around the corner from the plaza there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not letting me reveal. Oh, there we are.
Oh,
And I will tell you what you see. So Shara and Ketchka, you are at this corner here at this hallway. I will move you back.
I see tokens.
Oh no. I'm going to hide the I am
Hopefully they're just flautists.
right there. You never know when you're gonna find a flautist.
True.
It's my favorite
Story
thing
of
Michael
my
Jackson
life.
song.
We've had surprise flautists before.
So you peek around that corner and you see 3 tapered obelisks, their sides inscribed with ancient pictographs, stand in a row. Their peaks are scraping the 15-foot high ceiling. Each obelisk has a gaunt human tied to its base. Around the obelisk, a colored cobblestone mosaic depicts a large dwarf with a huge warhammer slung over his shoulder.
Are these guys screaming,
Okay.
perchance?
They are not. They are kind of slumped, tied to these obelisks. They're wearing cultist robes.
Ah, probably best not to disturb them then.
Can we tell if they're alive?
They are, well, the one that you are closest to, you could see that you pause there and peek around for a little bit, and you notice his chest is moving in and out very kind of shallowly. So he's alive.
Well, if he's wearing
So I think-
cultist robes, we had that kid who was sent by his dad. Like we know how cultists operate. We
It's
probably
true. And
don't
as
wanna do
you
anything.
look, you notice this guy. He's got the robe is like basically hanging off him. His face is pretty skeletal, and they have every kind of exposed flesh that you could see is just covered with welts, and their arms are like withered away to nothing.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but they're cultists, so they're probably into it.
How did we miss this on the way in?
Yeah, I know. It seems
I'm
like
not
the kind
sure
of
how
thing
you
would
did,
see
but
in
you
your peripheral
did.
vision.
You were very focused on going somewhere else.
We were
sounds
walking
like
along
us.
with all those flautists. They may have been
Yeah.
like just to the north of us, and it would just sort of
Who
scream in
knows?
the
These
hallway.
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I think
Pretty.
well,
We
I
did
don't
hear
know.
screaming, right? So this is potentially a source of screaming.
These guys are not screaming, but they could have
Could they have been
Do
screaming
they
like 8
look
hours
they
ago?
were- yeah, do they look like they were screaming last night?
they could have been.
Traces of scream
Roll-
still linger
roll
in the air.
perception.
Anyway, that's what you see. What would you like
scream
to do?
prints. Oh,
Yeah, I'm inclined to leave them at least until we have everyone with us.
Yeah. Can we see
Like-
anything to that hallway just to the south of us?
You can let me reveal this area.
Seeing as we're at this junction and all.
You
seems like a
see
good
the
time to
hallway
look.
it goes down and turns into
Oh,
another
access to the
corridor.
arrow slits.
Yeah, it
I'm
looks like it
suddenly
might be there.
realizing that I didn't explicitly ask Press to keep an eye on Carlos.
Oh,
Jeez. All right.
If anybody goes near the door, I will stop them.
Yeah,
Don't-
Carlos is just in the room. He's looking at the room. He's
You-
admiring the
You,
dead
you,
Kenku.
you never know with Carlos. You
Is
never
he taking
know.
a Kenku feather just for his trophy case?
Oh yeah, he's constructing a whole like headdress of Kenku feathers right now.
oh dear.
I would like to
nice.
slip down that hallway to the south and look around the corner just to make sure that nobody's manning those arrow slits now since we came in.
Okay, so you look around the corner and you
there's a door.
see it leads to a door.
What do you think, Shara? Should we pop that open and see if anybody's in there?
I'm inclined to leave everything as is, get our entourage out, and then start busting open doors.
All right, I'm just a little worried about sending them down the murder hall when it is murder manned.
I think if we flank them, maybe we just have like the party escort them out, so that we can protect them if we need to.
Okay.
And then we can investigate if that's what we need to do.
We'll make a little circle around them and bustle them past the arrow slits.
Yeah. I'm just a little bit worried about like opening doors and I don't know, setting off traps or
Nothing
alerting
bad's
people
ever
to
happened
our
to us when
presence.
we opened a door.
It's true. It's true.
All
Can't
right, well,
leave
it looks
our
like
doors.
the way is clear.
The door-
at least to the door to the murder hallway. We haven't looked in the
Yes.
murder hallway.
This door is just like all the other doors. It's a stone door. It's cantilevered, so you think that you would push it on one side and it would swivel. Doesn't appear to be locked from where you're standing, Ketchka.
All right. Well, I'm going to run back and report and say, there's it's clear now there's some areas that we think are potentially dangerous. Maybe we should escort the party out in case, just to be sure, but it seems all right.
We could even as we're escorting them out, if we get stopped, we could say, this is our orders. We're supposed to go stake them out in the desert and then just wander out with them, come back a few minutes later and say we did it.
Yeah, while she's heading down to them, I'm going to just take a quick listen at this door.
I was going to say, Ketchka, what are you doing while you're alone?
Yeah, he can't help it.
Well, I was
can't
also
help
going to stay posted down here in case anybody came by. But at the immediate moment, I'm going to do a quick perception check on that door,
Okay.
which is a 17.
So you press your hearing orifice against the door, and you hear
Like a leg or a thorax.
I don't know where he keeps it,
Around-
or where she keeps
around
it.
her knee area.
And you're listening. The door is very thick, but you think you hear some shuffling, maybe the occasional sound of maybe like a weapon hitting the side of a leg or something, or someone shifting.
That's not good. All right. Boy. I'm going to start heading back down the hall until I'm about 100 feet away from them, and then I'm going to telepathically let Shara know, who's probably closest.
Now witness the might of this fully armed murder hallway.
It's a good thing we showed up when they were all napping.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll let
It was
everybody
nightmare.
know. Let everybody know about the sounds beyond the door.
Oh boy.
Ooh. There are sounds.
So that means that even if nobody's actively manning those arrow slits, there's somebody in there that could theoretically probably see.
All right.
So do
Should
we
we-
try to bluff our way through and say we're staking them out in the desert, or
I say
send
maybe
him
we
to
leave
the
the humans
octopus?
and then pop open that door and clear out the arrow slits?
yeah, try to do that as quietly as possible, assuming that there's not like another door in there that goes to another tunnel that is going to have backup.
Well, we are still wearing our wonderful initiate robe disguises. Perhaps somebody could at least open up
that's
the door,
true.
pretend to be lost, and
Mm-hmm. The other thing is that's only one side of the murder hallway, and if that side is manned, the other side could also be manned, but we don't have any
Probably.
access to that
Yeah,
without going
maybe
into
they sleep in
Flute
shifts
Plaza.
or something. Yeah.
unless we go through the arrow slits.
It usually doesn't work that way.
No?
They're just for arrows.
Are you an arrow, Kachka?
All right, I feel like we've got three options here. We can just lie, like continue to be liars, and say we're actually initiates who are staking these guys.
We
out
have a
in the
lot
desert.
of practice.
We could send some small group of us to distract or attempt to distract the people in the one side of the murder hallway armament. Or we could just all rush that side and kill those guys. And then try to get out.
I think we want to avoid an all-out fight because there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them, right?
The way that the arrow slits are set up, do I think that if we were to have a battle behind the southern arrow slits, I only see two places where they like kind of directly look across from each other. Would somebody manning the northern arrow slits be able to see what we were doing in the southern room? I'm just worried about.
There is a
hurting
lot of
any
ambient
others.
screaming going on, right? So
I don't think that.
Well, you didn't hear.
throwing a little more into the
hard.
mix isn't likely to raise attention.
You didn't hear as you were going. The only thing you heard, Ketchka, was shifting, no screaming. And so arrow slits, you can see into arrow slits if you look up to them, but they're not that wide. So it would be incredibly difficult for someone on the northern hall to look through their arrow slit, which they would see the hallway, right? Because that's how arrow slits work. But then to see through the other arrow slit into the hall, it would be nearly impossible. The other problem, though, would be killing things. Generally, the method that your party uses is loud. So they will probably, Presto would assume that anyone in the northern hallway could certainly hear you murdering a bunch of people in the south hallway.
We do it real quiet, like.
Unless you do it real quiet, like.
Suggest that we try to lead them out,
Mm-hmm.
but with maybe a couple of our fighters staying behind in that hallway, or maybe even knocking on the door and distracting them a little bit. And I know that's
Hello,
splitting
we
the
are
party,
arrow slit inspectors.
but I think maybe because then either we can run and they'll follow us, or they'll go back to the arrow slits, I suppose, or we'll fight them, or at the very least maybe we distract them, and that increases the chance of getting the civilians out of the murder hallway.
I have an idea.
How many of them there
I have
are.
an idea.
Can we
Couple
possibly
anyway.
strip these guys
Regdar
that
has
are
an idea.
strapped to the obelisks
Regdar
for
has an
more
idea.
disguises?
No one needs to hear about pottery right now.
Regdar has an idea. I can
Regdar.
create a silent image
Do you have an idea?
that maybe could obscure. The main thing I'm worried about is as soon as the arrow people wake up, if the ones on the northern side are paying attention, like any of these workers is going to go down in one arrow hit.
Wait, you can
So-
create a silent image? Could you create
yeah.
a silent image of somebody that's sort of more in charge than we are to be leading all of us with the
He
prisoners?
knows what Thrall looks like.
So if we get stopped, we could just say, Thrall told us to do it. He's in a hurry. Don't make him mad. And then we just keep walking.
And don't ask him any questions.
Right.
other
Taking a
creatures
vow
can
of
man.
silence.
Yeah,
On
he
this
is silent.
auspicious
Then we
day,
roll
he is too busy to
ventriloquism,
talk.
okay?
Well, if
Yeah.
he just keeps walking, and we just say he said not to stop for anything.
I'm
so
not
we're
sure
just
how
gonna-
silent image works, Dungeon Master. Like, does he just slide around because I can't animate him, or
I'm-
like is it an
I'm
image?
reading
It's
it right
silent
now.
image, not silent animation.
Just make his cloak
No, you
long
can make a
enough to
creature.
touch the
You can make
floor.
a creature.
Yeah, but does the creature move, or is the creature just? I mean, I can move the image.
You can alter its appearance so its movements appear natural for the image. If you create
Okay.
an image of a creature and move it, you can alter the image so it appears to be walking. They answered it right in the text for you.
They do. Well, I have my notes on it in front of it. We're gonna use that. Other creatures, Scott, just to get ready. Other creatures use investigation checks to see through the illusion. So get your investigation checks ready.
I just read that.
That's a dungeon master to dungeon master courtesy there,
Thank
which
you.
gives me advantage. So
Okay, so what's happening?
I think
I was
that's as
thinking
good
I
a
would
plan as we're
create
going to
a-
get, besides just hiding them somewhere. and
yeah,
going
I
to
was
water.
thinking I
Yeah.
was gonna create like a 15-foot cloud of fog or something. But I'm happy
That's
to create an image.
suspicious.
Well,
It's an air elemental
fog
temple.
rolls
That's
in.
totally normal.
Why is
Happens
that
all the
fog
time.
walking down the hallway?
Carlos is now over at Kachka. Hey, Kachka, I think we're going to do this thing. I think we're going to...
Oh, Carlos, were you trying to be stealthy?
No, Carlos was just walking down the hall to Kachka.
Carlos doesn't do stealthy.
All right, Umlal, I see, has left as well. I'm assuming he was not being stealthy.
Oh shoot! I was looking at the arrow slits and I wasn't watching the door.
No.
This is the problem when the character and the player are not quite enmeshed. Okay, so are we just leading the? Are we just going to lead the prisoners?
Yeah. I think
so-
this plan sounds great. Let's do this plan.
Oh, we're bringing them with us, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So the commoners are very confused because they don't understand the plan. Also,
Just shut up and walk.
they're
Don't say
stand-in for
anything.
me.
Look scared.
So Perrin says, "Well, what do you want me to do?"
Hide.
Okay,
Yeah, hide
Where?
here. We'll be back.
all right, he's gonna crouch behind this altar. And the commoners, I guess, are
Well, let's
gonna
ask
walk.
Perrin. You know, you want to come with us and look for your wife, or do you want to flee with the commoners and we'll continue our search?
totally go to freedom. He should wait for us in freedom.
You're
I
want to come find your
will-
wife whose name it took you a while to remember? Or...
I think that
You're
discretion is the better part of valor, and I should lead my commoner friends to
All right.
freedom.
Good
Sounds
idea.
good.
I like that.
So they're just
We
gonna.
don't need you underfoot anyway, dude.
They're very concerned, but I'm just gonna.
It is his
keep-
last name.
Underfoot?
Perrin Underfoot. He's
That
a
makes
halfling.
sense.
Yeah.
So
Aren't Dark Suns halflings cannibals? Is he just going to eat all the commoners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
might.
don't want him underfoot because
He
he will
might.
eat your foot.
As an elf,
I
I'm
was
okay
always-
with that.
Yeah, I was always
Yeah.
a little confused. I mean,
Do they only eat other
halflings?
Yeah.
Or
that's a good
they eat
question.
other people? Because is it really cannibalism? Like, if they
they're
eat...
No, it's just a
omnivore.
variety diet. That's
Yeah. I mean,
They are infamous for being cannibals.
yeah, but what does that mean? Does that, I mean,
Let's really unpack that.
yeah, let's unpack it.
Well, they view all living creatures, both humanoid and animal, as more food than equals. So how do you like that?
I don't feel good entrusting our ordinary workers to him.
But elves are also cannibals in Dark Sun. It's like there's
All
like
right.
they have,
I would like to ask Perrin.
Carlos moves down the
Carlos is
hall.
walking. He's like,
No, come back.
no, we're
Carlos-
talking about the rich
Goliath's
food.
just eat,
Carlos-
Goliath's just eat
Carlos-
rocks. Everything's fine.
Tyr
for them.
is a rich and varied ecosystem, and if we don't respect it, we
That's right,
will
you-
inevitably fall
Okay.
prey to it.
I'll tell you.
I would like to
here's-
ask
here's-
Perrin
here's
which-
what happens.
which cult he's
Carlos
using. Every
walks
part of
down
the commoner.
here and sees these
Okay.
emaciated guys who are tied as if they are sacrifices, and
He
looks
does.
back
Are
at
we
the group
seriously
and
letting
says,
Carlos get ahead of the guy that's supposed to be leading us?
he peeks around the corner, but then he goes back and says, "Wait, those guys
He looks
are
up.
gonna die. Why don't we cut them down and let them get out of here too?"
Because they're
They're
cultists
wearing
and
cultist
they
robes,
signed up
yeah.
for this stuff.
and they don't look like they can walk. I would assume.
Our civilians can carry them
don't.
out. They're gonna die. They're sacrifices, and they're dying. Are we gonna leave them here?
That way of desert.
We don't necessarily know their sacrifices. They may have sacrificed themselves, and if we try to move them, they're going to scream.
Here's a
Respect
thought. If,
their
they,
religion.
if they've sacrificed themselves, is there really any harm in sending them down the murder hallway first?
Only that they will maybe scream and like let up the alarm.
They
Also,
scream all the
someone-
time
Scott,
here.
won't
They
someone
love it.
notice that they're
Civilians were in
gone?
robes too.
I
No.
did not say
Oh,
that.
okay. All right, fine. You know.
Is Perrin also a cult member?
You didn't ask.
Perrin, are you also a cult member?
I am not a cult member.
You
okay,
can't
good.
lie when we ask you directly.
You can roll insight if you want to see if you believe him.
Because pretty much everybody that we've experienced wants to transport us to some plane or another. And as far as I'm concerned, you ain't putting me on no plane.
I rolled a
cannibal.
5. I trust him.
Yep, he is not. He's no cultist. Umlaw says he no cultist. I cultist inspector.
All right, so are we going to continue? Like, I
So-
assumed once we left the room, we were just going to move down the hallway, and suddenly everything stopped.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's do the thing with the image. I think.
All
that's
right,
great plan.
so what is everybody? Let's just go. I'm going to go in order of where you are in the hallway, and you will tell me what your characters are doing. Carlos, what are you doing?
I guess I'm going to go down the hallway with the. I think the plan is for us to kind of like be around the cultists. I would like some of our more convincing people at the front by the image so that they can do some sweet talking. I'm just going to be the muscle, so I'm going to act however they want us to proceed as we try to go down the murder hallway.
But at the moment, you are hanging out there waiting for people to catch up with you.
Yeah, I
Umlaw-
mean, I'm kind of coming back here and saying, "What
Oh.
are we doing this or what?"
All right. Well, if you have a plan, I don't need to go in order. So if you people know what you want to do, tell me, and we can do
I'm
it.
creating an image of that guy.
All right. So
Cool.
suddenly, I will find a token of him.
Yeah, guys in the front, few of us behind him, then the prisoners,
Party in the back.
There
Then a
should
couple-
also be somebody convincing
then the
in the
party
back.
in the back, which is me.
Because I assume we're going to be questioned by somebody. Like, we're going to just keep on moving, and if somebody
Okay.
comes to question us, they'll probably be coming from behind.
Oh my!
There's Thrall.
Oh.
Looking
That's what it
good.
looks like.
Look at him.
I will flank to one side of the group, just like as though I am escorting.
And Tony, I'm going to have you. You are in charge of that token.
All right.
So this image of Thrall appears. He's standing there. He is silent.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah. So I will go behind.
The commoners are frightened.
All I see is a giant Thrall. Oh, there he goes.
Do not be afraid. We are using magic.
That
That's
frightens
way
them even
going
more.
Regdar, no magic.
No, this is just. I just read a book on this. Don't worry.
All right.
Okay.
It's all done with mirrors.
Actually,
Book's
Guys-
dangerous.
Yeah.
you know what? At
Sleight
a
of
certain
hand.
level, advanced pottery is indistinguishable from magic.
All right. Look here, Carlos is going to be
Wow.
in the back in case there are murder hallway problems.
How long did it take you to buy that book?
Probably about as long as it's taking you to go down this hallway.
Yeah, really. Let's go. Let's go.
Scott, can you just drag all our tokens? Because presumably you're the only one who can drag them all.
Yes, I don't know where you want to be, but I will move everybody
There you
over
go.
here.
Oh, I'm going to be
That's-
Oh,
party
now
in the
some
back,
people
as
are
far
you
as I'm
can't see,
concerned,
but
so-
there we are.
Yeah, and I feel like we're probably setting a pretty swift pace because part of our story
Yes.
is that he's in a hurry. Don't stop him, and
That's
everybody
right.
should
So-
just keep walking until unless they're physically restrained.
The commoners are 2 men, 2 women. They are grievously
I'm going to quickly cast Blade Ward on myself.
malnourished, and they are moving at half speed,
And
so they
let's-
can only move 15 feet.
I feel
around.
since Shara is an air elemental, I would like Shara up with the image so that she can do some of the talking, or at least intimidate them with her air elementalness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just remember, today is not an auspicious day.
No,
It
that
is
That was
was-
the
not,
day
no,
after
that
the
was-
auspicious day.
Yeah, it's auspicious Boxing Day.
Yeah, but they're having their big thing. They were going to have us play with the flute at their big
They're having
shindig.
a flute concert. But yes, so is this where everybody wants to be?
Yeah, sure.
Kashka's on top of the halfling now.
Yeah, that's
Get
what
off
I intended.
the halfling.
No, Ketchka, the halfling is not molested by Ketchka.
I was just sitting on his shoulders because it's fun.
All right, so this is where you are.
Underfoot.
Tell me
Great.
what you're going to do.
I think as soon as we leave the room that we were in, that we need to just
We're just
start
marching-
moving and keep moving,
Marching
and
down
not
that
stop.
hallway to the murder hallway.
Yeah.
So you're just
Yep.
going to keep going down the hallway. You go in here.
And walked on down the
Everybody,
hall.
everybody sound busy and important. Peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and
Rutabaga,
carrots.
Rutabaga, Rutabaga.
Called business or Yansiban, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
All right, so you're walking down the hallway. Open
We
the
walking
Shara
down the
opens the
hallway
door.
as we come.
Maybe we should be screaming.
We'll be walking down the hallway as we can.
And as soon as you come into the hallway, you start hearing screams.
I ignore them.
Yeah.
Keep
And,
walking.
Keep
Yeah.
walking.
The
Screams are tomorrow's problems. Today's
The-
problem is
the-
these 5 prisoners.
the commoners are kind of freaking out because
Good. We want them to look
they
scared.
say to you, one of them says, those are our screams.
Yep.
This is
Whoa.
freaking me out.
Shut up,
so it's
prisoner,
anchored.
I yell.
And so they kind of collapse and they will not move because they are
All right.
fully packed.
How heavy are the commoners?
They're very light.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
drag
Alright,
them.
can we pick them up?
I'm gonna pick up one over each shoulder.
I will grab one in front of me. I'm pretty strong.
I'll grab one.
I don't think I can carry someone while maintaining an illusion. So
No,
that's
you cannot.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, I've got two.
Carlos is strong.
Carlos got one. Presto's got one. We're good.
It does seem like they're not going to be able to get back to freedom on their own if they're currently unconscious.
Yeah, but they'll be
that's an
away from
outside.
the-
That's
They're
an
not
outside
unconscious.
problem, Tony.
They're just kind of
Just
paralyzed with
petrified.
fear.
Yeah.
We'll get them away from the screams and.
Is it
All right.
possible? I'd like to do an insight check. Are they just being lazy?
Damn those lazy ordinary workers.
19.
They are fully paralyzed with fear. They're crying. These people have been tortured for days on end. They haven't been fed.
We know they're not lazy. These are workers.
They're workers,
Is
man.
Perrin also paralyzed with fear?
No, he's
That's because halflings have a bonus against fear saves.
that's right, and he is also made of sterner stuff than a mere
Great,
commoner.
Tony. Great.
He's also been tortured less. So yeah.
That's true. He's about half. So you lead out the door and you leave the murder hallway. You are now in the entrance that goes out to the valley that led into this.
Amla yells, "We win!"
And thus ends the exciting adventure.
Well done, dude. Very well played, everybody.
Rocks fall.
Good night.
All right, Presto,
Yes.
you can probably point them the way to the shallow graves from where they can find freedom, right?
Yeah, why don't you guys just walk yourselves over those shallow graves? Look the other way. Don't worry about it.
Guys, directions in Dark Sun are really depressing. Yeah, turn left to the shallow graves, head right to the slave pits, pass your third pottery shop. It's
Wow, that's grim.
That is grim. So they say thank you so much. We are forever in your debt. Perrin says, please find my wife and bring her to freedom.
Has he given us a description of her? And if not, I ask him to
He
do
gives
that.
you a description of her.
Is it that she's one of two living halflings in this whole city?
he gives a better description than that. He also
I
says,
ask,
bring Chenna as well.
Yes.
well, I ask him, is there anything else that you have thought of as we're going? Anything else you can tell us that might be helpful for finding them, or just any information about in case we can't find them, any other information we could take back to Tyr that would be important.
What do your wife's screams sound like so we can locate her?
It's the only way to be sure.
Oh dear. Well, he looks at Shara and he says, "Who from Tyr are you working for?"
Amlal pulls out a notebook. It's got
I know.
a long list of all our
That's a good question.
we general purpose inspectors.
Technically,
And we
were
tell
hired
him-
we were hired by the leadership council, right?
Yeah, we tell him
Yeah.
who we were hired by.
Yeah, we don't need to lie. This is one of those we don't need to lie situations. I know it's hard to detect them, but this is one.
I don't like this.
All right. Well, then he
What is
looks
his
at
reaction
you
to that?
momentarily
Mishashta?
and squints and says, "Well, you have saved us. You seem trustworthy. It doesn't. I have noticed. You seem to lie with great ease.
We very
but,
trustworthy, says Umwell.
But I feel as though I should tell you that, and this will help you save my wife. Hopefully, we were not just merely a trade convoy.
No.
We were carrying 4 pieces of an elemental rock that the leadership council were hoping to put together so that they could have the same power and protect here. Since your sorcerer king has been destroyed, they wanted to replicate that same power and replace it. rock was, or 4 pieces of the rock were stolen from the caravan. And I don't know enough about the functionality of the rocks to know what they can do with them. Chenna was one of our lead experts on elemental magic. But I've noticed that strange things had been happening ever since they left with the rock. Well, mostly I've been tortured, and that's kind of strange. But these people seem like they're up to no good, but I'm not sure what they're trying to do. But these are great and powerful artifacts that can be used for very bad things.
Let me guess. Each cult has a piece of the elemental stone.
Well, no, it's the stone cult, right? Or well, no, because I guess the air cult has them. Interesting.
Or at least one. I thank him for that, and I say we did stumble in our looking around. We did stumble upon some halfling trade tokens. Is that something that we should give over to this guy?
You say that to him?
I look around at the rest of the party, and I say, should we give those to him in case we never get out of here? Like, at least there'll be someplace, that they can be useful.
I'm holding on to my book.
Nobody wants your stupid book, Regdar.
If Regdar dies, the book goes with him.
I'm not sure what he gains by getting those trade tokens. I think we hang on to those.
He's free if he ever makes it back to Tyr. Maybe that's something that was important. Like I ask him, like, what were the deal with these things?
What were the deal?
What's the deal with these trade tokens? So the trade tokens
are with these trade tokens.
Who were the trade wizards who came up with that one?
They are a kind of a normal part of a trade caravan from Ogo, and so we carried them to maintain the deception that this was just an ordinary trade caravan.
Right.
Okay, maybe we'll hang on.
All
to
right.
them
Well,
then.
good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Please find my wife.
We'll see you in freedom with your wife.
Yay! Also, maybe stop them from using the piece of rock that they have to unleash unholy terror.
Okay, no, if we find
we get
out.
around to it.
What is really holy terror? The dark sun setting. I mean, let's
It's no
unpack that.
We're rock
Maybe later.
inspectors back in Tears.
Let's leave it packed.
Yeah. Okay. Repacked.
Yeah, this is perfect. We've done this kind of work.
All right.
It's a Unix rock. I know this.
Do we reverse with the still image and just go back up the hallway?
I think the still image just keeps going. So, yeah, I think we're done with the still image. Regdar is no longer concentrating.
Still image disappears. I'm just moving
Can
you.
we peek in the arrow slits as we go past and just see what's going on?
Sounds like
On
a
the
good
north
way to
side?
lose an eye.
So okay, I'm gonna put you back in the hallway then. You could
Well, we know
put
where there's an eye
yourself
patch.
wherever you would like to be in the hallway, or if you don't want to be in the hallway, now's your chance.
I do not
I'm
want to
leaving
be in
the
the
hallway.
hallway.
I'm monitoring.
Agreed.
I'm monitoring Carlos outside of the hallway here.
So Regdar, which arrow slit do you want to peek into?
I will look at the northmost one so that I don't have to walk very far if it's bad.
All right, so this one up here.
Yeah.
So you peek in, and it is dark and empty.
Okay. Did it scream? Did the hallway scream as we came back in?
Yes, it's currently filled with screams.
And the source of the screams is unclear?
It is
The fact
coming
that we're
from
standing in the murder hallway would be my guess.
the screams are coming from both sides, either side of the walls, behind the walls.
Okay, but
And you
looking
can-
into that, there does not seem to be any obvious source of the screams.
No, you feel like
It's magic. Hey!
Or there's
Magic.
some Kenku somewhere
Magic.
sitting in the dark and screaming.
Guys, hold on. Magic,
Are there
I know this.
speakers? Like a Bose insignia anywhere?
I roll Arcana.
Sonos.
you are aware of what magic is.
Indeed.
The concept of magic.
You did not roll very highly on Arcana.
I rolled a 1. I have +8 to Arcana. That's how you
But
roll that.
as you're thinking about magic, you are kind of wandering back and forth in the hallway, and you feel like
What-
I'm just gonna the
right.
arrow slit here. You feel like you hear the screams sound louder coming from that arrow slit.
All right.
but
I
not gonna
peek
make-
my head in that particular arrow slit.
Okay.
Do I see a Kenku?
You see a Kenku that has an arrow notched and let loose into your face.
Oh no!
Why would he do that? Aren't I wearing horrible initiate robes?
You are.
But there's no knowing what a Kenku's going to do.
He doesn't like people looking through his arrow slit.
Kenku
All right.
are a very touchy race, man.
Well, that seems like an unfair generalization.
At the moment, it actually
Well,
sounds okay.
what we did learn in the other room is that they die easy, so at least we got that going for us.
That's true. Does a 17 hit Regdar?
Oof.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, you take 9 points of damage as
All right.
an arrow gets hit into your shoulder.
Let's not escalate this. We can still walk back from this.
So depending on what you do,
Friendly fire.
the Kenku makes a quizzical sound and looks towards you.
Whatever you say right now, that Kenku's going to say later, so come up with something good.
I just hold up my hands and start stepping backward.
Ow! Be like, that was rude, and then leave.
Yeah, and then leave. Ow, that was rude. I say as an arrow pulling an arrow out of my jaw. Guys, I just lost a third of my hit points. That was rude.
The Kenku does not do anything else and allows you to walk out of the room if you want.
That really hurt. Like both emotionally and physically. I'm totally gonna magic missile that Kenku later. Regdar says it out loud.
All right. So you've saved the commoners. A halfling has been let out, and now you are back in the temple.
Hey,
of
Regdar,
Howling
just run back
Hatred.
down there and yell, Yansiban sucks into the arrow slit, and then the cultists will take care of him later.
So what are you doing?
Yeah, where to now, guys?
Should we go play some flute concert?
Yeah, what time is it? Because we know what time the concert was supposed to be. Do we feel like we've just...
We know what time
totally
rehearsal
missed it?
was. I don't think we ever heard what time the
So you
concert
feel
was.
like he told you to come back in the morning, I feel like.
8 a.m. and we woke up at like
you-
10:30, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
so you've missed the practice.
No.
But
We
you
don't
can peek
need no
into that
stinking
room if you
practice.
want. I mean, I don't know. The door's not locked. This is the door that you're all standing right next to goes to
Mhm.
Flute Plaza.
Do we hear... Well, last time we actually heard the flute music through the door.
It's
I will
also
listen at
called
the door.
Plaza of the Muses. You do not hear anything.
Okay. All right, first of all, do we need to heal Regdar quick in the hallway?
I don't know.
Okay.
Will Regdar learn a lesson if he gets healed right away?
Good point.
Seems
Probably
unlikely.
not.
Yep.
All right, so you're not going to heal Regdar, and you're standing by a door. What would you like to do?
Well, my idea was garbage, so it's somebody else's turn to have a less garbage idea.
So
Okay.
it seems to me that the pyramid. I mean, obviously, we approached the main entrance on the east, and a dude and a wyvern came down and
Mhm.
schooled us a little bit. But my guess would be that there's a side entrance maybe somewhere, or a way to get there from down the hall where the guys are strapped to the obelisks.
Yeah,
We also haven't.
We got those
we
two
haven't
doors
really,
we
like,
haven't
checked these
investigated.
doors, yeah.
That's true.
Let's check those out. I like to know what we're dealing with in case
almost
we
gonna
have to,
check
for
out
when
this
we
door down
inevitably
here.
have to run away.
He likes
All right.
doors.
What is how does Omlal check out a door?
He.
Remember to
I
ask
will-
first. Ask first.
I was gonna say.
Are you mimic?
This is really my way of saying, are you opening the door?
I'm
What are you
slowly-
doing?
slowly. I'm gonna open the. I'm gonna listen to the door. Maybe peek in a little bit.
So you're going to do both, apparently.
Yep, I'm multitasking.
All right.
I got a 12 perception to listen at the door.
All right. So you, as you're listening at the door, you hear.
Almo opens it while you're listening.
if Almo starts to
it's
open it,
true.
I reach out and grab his arm and like tap him, like shake my head.
Well, Presta, you hear what sounds like very deep grinding.
Whoa.
Hot.
Dentist, maybe?
Dancing?
As if gears, enormous gears are
Okay,
turning.
that makes a lot more sense.
Mhm.
It's just it's a sandwich shop.
All right, now I'm wanting
This is Smurgle's Annex.
in through the door.
Grind us for you.
Which I think that's in a different world.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now I'm
They're
curious.
called
It's
hoagies in this world.
D&D game that Kachka is playing.
That's right. Here, deep hoagies. So are you?
Sandwiches
What are you doing?
and Boston.
All right. Now I nod at Amlal. Like, yeah.
Sandwiches and
Okay.
sewers.
Open the door.
Sandwiches. Amlaw opens the door.
And then
Opens.
because of the way it opens, we both get to peek, one on each side.
Everybody gets to peek.
What is
All
it,
right.
like a flap?
It's a cantilever.
Cantilever.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh.
It's a cantilevered flap. That's what she said. 2 massive stone
Slave
pillars
powered.
thread holes in the floor and ceiling of this vast chamber. Stone crossbeams pierce the pillars to form spokes, creating giant wheels. 2 robed figures whip 5 sorry-looking humans into pushing against the crossbeams of the westernmost wheel with all their might. As the wheel turns slowly counterclockwise, you hear the grinding of enormous gears hidden deep below the stone floor.
So there's a second set of gears from here? Is that what you're saying? A
So
second
this
set
would
of
be
wheels?
the power source, presumably.
I guess I don't
For
have. There's
something?
no dungeoneering anymore, so I don't know what to roll to try
Scott,
to
you
figure
said
out
there
what's
were-
happening.
Scott, you said there were 2? Okay. Thank you.
Investigation, I would guess. If there's anything you want to investigate.
I'll roll perception.
You see 2 stone
Yeah.
enormous gears.
I was just wondering if I, as a character, would have any just like I saw that and be like, oh, that's how this
So the
happens.
sorry-looking
underground on
humans are
That's
pushing
how the
wheel,
world goes around.
and those 2 guys are like whipping them.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
thinking
the
about-
Howling
thinking about killing
Hatred
those
priests, which you've seen before, they're wearing these feather robes.
I kind of
and-
feel like these. There's 5 of them. They should own the means of production. That's how I see.
And
Oh, dear.
Carlos is enraged by a scene of slavery and
Oh,
is,
yeah.
here we
is
go.
already visibly agitated.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Wait,
Although
can you see
Carlos
this?
can't see.
And one of the
We haven't-
priests looks up and says, "Initiates, get out of here!"
Carlos is peeking back from behind, you see. He's like,
Almost going
I'm
to charge
not-
these guys unless someone
It's
stops
not
them
your
in the
turn
next
at the
30
wheel
seconds.
yet, initiates. Get out.
Guys, there may be a more fortuitous time to do this.
The time is now.
Oh, boy.
I don't think anybody's in a position to stop
Well, he's-
Almal because he's one of the 2
Yeah.
people that is.
He's
I mean,
behind both of you. You stop him.
Yep. I'm not in front of him.
Carlos is
Just-
not running in yet. No, so he said
Whoa, Carlos
it's not
isn't running in.
it's not running in yet. He's behind, but he just said it's not your turn. So are these sad-looking humans here just cultists who are being put to work? And
I don't
should
think
we
they're
just
cultists, right?
Are they wearing robes?
They are not wearing robes.
Yeah, these
Yeah, I
are
think
slaves.
these
This
are
is
slaves.
slave labor.
Well,
I do-
then
I do
Carlos
love
is
the,
gonna be quite upset.
All right. Amlal gives Carlos like one of these complicated hand signals where he's like, and then he just runs away. Ah! Ah!
The priest says, "What are you doing? What are you doing, initiates?"
I hit him with a great sword. That's what I'm doing.
And I hit him with my hammer. Yep.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So things are going to happen very quickly. When you do that, and I will tell you, the commoners who are pushing the wheel stop. But we'll get to that. So
Yeah, I'm a little
Keep
worried
pushing,
about the
keep
stopping
pushing.
of the wheel. I don't know what it does.
Oblal, give me.
If the wheel stops, somebody
one roll.
notices and there's reinforcements coming. You got to keep pushing.
What'd you say, Scott?
Roll to hit this
18.
priest, and 18 will hit.
16 damage.
Okay. And Carlos, give me a roll.
14
Oh, you did.
versus AC.
All right, so Carlos, you are just so enraged by the scene that you think you're seeing that you swing wildly and miss the priest. And now we're going to roll initiative.
Technically, when I attack, I get a second attack. Does that happen here?
Well, this is a surprise round, so
Yep.
you would get
Yeah,
one
as
action.
I can't argue with this because my bond is to protect people. So I have to say, Presto would be right there with Carlos and
Well,
Almal.
thank you. That's very nice.